Happy 219, everybody. We are back after a little R&R, after that big celebration with the awards banquet. Here we are on Hump Day 2019, January 9th. A good show. Hope everybody had a good and safe holiday out there. First of all, you're listening to the HammerFist podcast. It's brought to you by MMA Fight Pass with the support of the people here at Spike and Rail, Glepler Digital Media, Visalia MMA, and we can't forget Alonzo Morales, man. All about millions. Shout out to all you people. Good show, a lot of content, man. A lot of things happened when we were off ending the year. We got in-studio guests, Julian Tovar, going to be talking about their new spot there for wrestling. There's a lot of adults out there that have kids in there, and they're, and they know about wrestling, but they still got the itch maybe from yesterday. You know what I'm saying? They still want to go in there and kind of help the kids condition, but there hasn't really been a place to accommodate adults. Mainly it's for, the high school or the real small kids and stuff, but this is a spot that's going to be in Selma. And my partner here in crime, WC vet, current Tachi Palace heavyweight, they call him Mantequilla, I call him Buddy. His name's Bam Palacios, man. And Julian Tovar, man.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, guys, busy show. We also got Omar Molina calling in from just south of the border. Update on an event happening February 2nd, BareNuckle in Cancun. Big story behind the scenes, man. We're urging to try to find out, and a positive note, what's going to happen out there. And at 6:30, Omar Rocky, where a lot of the people here know him by, same guy, is going to call in at 6:30, and we're going to go live. They also have a lot of people on the other side that will be watching in attendance with him. So as we're recording it, they're recording it on their side, so it's going to be good. So tune in, go on. There's a live fighter chat on there on this live feed. If you got a question you want to ask, Shannon Rich, I'm sure you're probably listening. Give us your input too, and possibility we might even give you a chance to call in. Get a producer, might give you a number, and we can get you on your side too. But we're going to start off the show with Julian. Julian, talk about the spot, man.
The spot?
The spot in Selma, man.
Oh, it's just a hole in the wall right across the street from the police station. It's always how it's always been,
Yeah.
Good wrestling programs start from the garage and then from there up.
Progress, yeah.
Yeah, from the parents that participating in their kids. We've been doing it for some time now. We've just been wrestling and learning and going to clinics just like any other club and trying to, put it all together and try to make some champions.
There you go.
Right on. And it's good. It's something that I know, Archie, which is our producer, or his father, we've been talking about it, and we've had actually guests in here, Team Selma, come in here, and all those guys are ex-wrestlers and stuff like that, and they have, because they deal with the parents on a regular basis, they've even talked about finding a place to kind of accommodate it. So I think it's going to be pretty successful.
Yeah.
I mean, for anybody, really. Not just ones that have wrestled, but one that want to know more about
I'm going to throw my head in there tonight and go check it out. I'm excited about it. Big Al was there Monday, right?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, right on.
And so, there's legit people walking in and out. Not even the coaching side. There's people training. So, the more the word gets out, the bigger it's going to be. And I'm excited to check it out tonight. Go get my butt handed to me by a bunch of young dudes. Is what I'm looking for. Maybe by Archie too. We don't know. But I'm excited about it. It's really, if you look around the area, there's not just a specific wrestling place. And for me, I started in MMA and it ended up out of football, and then transitioned to this. And I had a little background in judo with my family, but wrestling seems to be the basis for most MMA fighters. And the people are getting in late, and there's tons of people that want to fight and want to try it out. And wrestling is such a great all-around sport and a good all-around cardio, because the only thing I can think of next to jiu-jitsu and wrestling is swimming. That takes more energy out of your body, and it'll be a probably an awakening for me to see what my cardio is like, you know. But it'll be fun tonight. I'm excited about that.
But yeah, it's more of a collegiate sport, like you guys were saying. It's more the high school
Right.
and the junior high, the elementary, and there's not too much accessibility there where adults could just, walk in. Hey, can I wrestle with you guys? So don't want to make anything
Right.
too weird for anyone. So you guys have an opportunity to come in and wrestle like you wanted to wrestle, and you never got that chance. Well, here it is.
You know, and it comes down to a lot of if it's a guy who's never wrestled before, his bravado's on the line, man. His masculinity, because he's never done the sport, and he's gonna get his butt handed to him by guys who are better. And if you can find a place that's just open doors, no judgment, come in, let's roll. We'll teach you some technique, we'll work on that, and then go from there. See what you do. It's a great place to be at. I mean, you guys are in the middle of everything: Fresno, Hanford, Visalia. I mean, there should be a good draw for that, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. But you guys have an establishment behind it, so I mean, it's not like you guys just woke up yesterday like, let's start training.
Yeah.
It's so the veteran side of it will come out, and I think the word just needs to be out more about that. So more people come and are comfortable in the sport, understand the sport from a spectator's point, and the advantage of being pinned or thrown. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. I would say there's not gonna be too much ego in the room, but for wrestling, it's a brute sport. You're gonna use all your muscle. You're gonna use all your strength, all your might. It's not gonna be like jiu-jitsu where you gotta be, so like methodical and be tactical, where you got to be watching out for every single move. In wrestling, it's going to be a scramble. There's going to people just going to keep on going and going until someone gets tired and go into deep waters and stuff like that. And
The gas tank's always got to be.
but we're going to try to go ahead and introduce the sport to people where it's going to be known as a martial art. It's not going to be known as a sport.
As it should be.
As it should be, correct. And it should be a lot of respect. It should be a lot of people being humble, and there shouldn't be no ego when you enter that room. You should just be wanting to learn and have fun.
That's awesome. That's the best thing for it.
I mean, that part there too, but I also know that, you, as a young kid, like you're saying, been wrestling for a long time, second nature, but now you've tested the waters of MMA, so you incorporated your knowledge of that along with jiu-jitsu and stand-up and everything. How has that helped you? I mean, that wrestling as a base.
Oh man, that's what's been getting me by. Without my wrestling, I don't know where would I be. I would be maybe 0-4 instead of 3-1.
Right.
And that's what happened in my last fight. I was a little bit sick. I was a little bit like under the weather. Got my son sick. Got my coach sick. Everything. Oh my goodness, you don't want to hear. But yeah. That's what happened in my fight. I didn't perform to my, as I should have, but, I'm hoping I'm gonna have some more people to come in the room and, help me out, because that's what you need. You need bodies. You need to be practicing and constantly practicing on your craft. If you're just focusing on one area, there's gonna be other area that's gonna be dull.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. Because I mean, I've headed into fights just worried about if the hands are going to be good, and then to get in there and the whole game plan goes out the window,
Exactly.
No matter what you prepare for, you have to be well-rounded. And it's more evident today in amateur all the way up to the elite level that, I mean, you got Cain Velasquez that you watch him and he's elite wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And all you see is him working on striking, and he does wrestling, and you go to AKA, they have a pit where they just kill each other, but you see highlights on his striking because that was always been his weakest point. He can kill and knock out people, but his boxing and his versatility, as you see it working. And so you don't have to have a tool anymore. It's a toolbox you got to keep, and everything's got to be sharp and ready to run.
Yeah, but like another big controversy, like Ben Askren.
Yeah.
He's finally getting let into the UFC because Dana White just thought,
Well, they traded for him.
Yeah, exactly. And now because Khabib pretty much opened up the road for him,
Yep.
he's all like, well, I guess wrestling does come in handy,
Yeah.
and it's not as boring, and people are starting to appreciate the sport a lot more.
Right. And, I mean, people are getting educated, and the more having more places like your guys' place to go to, I think is going to help the sport expand, just because people are going to understand, like, it's at this point, it's a high school or a lost art, because a lot of people don't, as soon as high school and college ends, then nobody does wrestling. There's no advancement to that. You go to jiu-jitsu and you do sub tournaments, or you go to fight.
Yeah.
But people need to learn where the bases are. I mean, if you don't have a good foundation, everything just falls. And so I think with your club, that's the best place to start and get known for what it is.
Yeah, exactly, and that's all we're trying to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that is because, I mean, people that I mean, the generation now, is slow to get educated as time goes by. But, when the UFC started, the big players in that game, Mark Kerr,
Yep.
the established wrestler, later on Randy Couture. Obviously, most people know Matt Hughes.
Yep. Kevin
Tito
Randleman.
Ortiz, Randleman. Yeah, all that. Those guys were major players and all collegiate wrestlers, And then it got away from it where people got more into the stand-up and the focus because of the knockouts and stuff, and then jiu-jitsu. It comes in phases.
Yeah.
Now, the UFC's kind of going to back like where they were at
Yeah.
the beginning, like that. So a lot of the generation that's looking at it now, they see the wrestling the same way we did when we first started seeing the UFC. So it's going in cycles, which it's good. You got the current athletes, but if they go through YouTube, I'm sure would have films and see what what Khabib did to Conor and what Mark Kerr used to do back in the day. There's no comparison, man.
Right.
There's no comparison. That guy was an animal. That was a dominant animal.
Yeah.
And even Matt Hughes,
Oh God.
on modern times. So, Khabib, yeah, he is one badass guy, but compared to them, and during that, because right now, really, dude, there's not, to me, my personal opinion, there isn't any good fighters at that weight right now.
Askren, I think.
Yeah, well, other than
bringing
that,
him in.
but we haven't seen him.
Not yet. Yeah.
We haven't seen him. I'm sure he's going to make a big note, but at the same time, maybe he might not. Because how many times have other big names come from other organizations, and fight
Yeah.
the UFC, and they get that UFC jitters for whatever reason.
Like the UFC curse or something.
We have not seen anyone that have transitioned from another promotion come to the
You
UFC
really haven't. But it's
and
been,
come right out of the gates and just take over.
But there really hasn't been anybody that recently that's come across that's crossed over from branding.
Yeah.
And with this trade, they wanted him to come over, and Mighty Mo wanted more competitors, and he's heading off to the Far East, and they're smaller dudes, so he'll have more fights.
Yeah, I think that'll be good for him, but I think at his level, he's just gonna blow through.
Well, with Ben Askren, there's always a question mark over his name because he pissed off Dana White, and Dana White kicked him out.
Yeah.
And so, we never knew how good he is, and is he in his prime now, or is he past his prime, or
From
there's so many
reports
questions.
that I've seen and I've heard and I've read, they're saying that he definitely, we know he's legit,
Right.
but they say that this guy is gonna basically make a statement coming out, and there are a lot of top big names that sign off on him, saying
Yeah.
he will be. So you got to trust it.
And but just like when Aaron Pico came out, he was so highly touted, never had a fight, and his debut was in Bellator, and the bell rang, and 30 seconds later, that guy caught him on the chin.
Yeah.
And like I said from the beginning, you can have every game plan. Sometimes it doesn't work out. I'm expecting big things out of Ben Askren, and he's already fought and at a high level for ONE FC, which is a big.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of big players
But
there.
he still has to come in to the octagon, close the cage, and run, and it's a big deal. But I'm thinking he's the one that's going to give Khabib a run for his money. They have to figure out somebody, because Conor was the one that everybody thought was going to run for it, and he got dominated and just sat on for the whole time.
Yeah.
And he didn't have that bare strength. You know what I mean?
No, it's a lot different. It's reverting right back to, remember, we seen the one-dimensional fighters. You got to be
Yeah.
complete. And Khabib, they underestimated his striking.
Yeah, and AKA put him together. He had a good base with the wrestling.
But that was fun about the UFC. We wanted to see that. We wanted to see a boxer versus wrestler, or karate versus jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's what gets people the curiosities what sells tickets.
Yes, exactly. But it seems like there's none of that anymore. It seems like everyone's starting to become more well-rounded, and everyone's just
The
versatile
game's
in every
blended,
area.
yeah. But everybody has their expertise and what they rely on. And you wrestle, and when you get tired, you go back to
Exactly. Yeah,
Well,
that's
your
true.
comfort
your
zone
comfort
is.
level. And when Conor McGregor hit that second round middle, and he was pinned against that fence, he couldn't do anything because his comfort was standing up, bouncing around, running from somebody. And with Khabib just shooting and doing what he just basically dictating the fight the whole way, that wrestling made a lot of people go, well, wrestling is just dominant, because he's not sporting sambo. He's not doing jiu-jitsu. He literally did old school, put you to the wall, put you on the ground, dominate, hold control, and beat your face in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's old Mark Kerr stuff, the smashing machine. That's and it hasn't been seen in a while where it's just been like that and been exciting. Usually people are just holding position and it's just not fun.
Yeah.
So-
But you see with Conor McGregor, that's where his hole in his game is jiu-jitsu. You could see when he fought Nate Diaz, easy money, and
Yeah.
Khabib, he keeps on getting submitted, so
Yeah.
everyone's gonna start exploiting that weakness of his.
Yeah, but he's in a good position. I mean, monetarily, so he doesn't have to do it.
Yeah.
You guys want to get that call? 6:30, it's up to you. Oh, is he going to call it?
Yeah, he's supposed to call. Who is it?
For Rocky.
No, there's not.
Oh.
You guys.
Yeah, he's calling me. Got my number, so I'm just waiting. But yeah, it's. I mean, okay. This revert to this last week or the weekend before Cyborg and Nunes fight.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it earlier.
I was pulling for Nunes, but betting on Cyborg, and
You would have to, yeah. I mean, and you know what? It's weird because I never go for the favorite. I always like the underdog. Just that because everybody could just pick whoever the favorite, but the underdog. And I thought she was going to go in there, and I didn't expect to see what I seen. And now the UFC kind of has like a roadblock to give her a rematch. But at the
Right.
same time, like the Conor and Khabib, they're going to want to give Conor a rematch already.
Mhm.
I don't understand. I mean, when Aldo lost, they gave him immediate rematch, but he got hurt.
yeah.
What are they doing to Cyborg, man?
Well,
Looks like they want to see a new champion. That's what
that's my other thing.
They
is-
want to be able to get
Market
more
her.
fights versus, will she be able, Nunes be durable like Cyborg was at 45?
Right, and with Nunes, she's the champ. She's
Yeah,
145,
yeah, yeah.
145, and so they're gonna. I think they want to push out more of the champ, two divisional, multi-purpose person. Cyborg's never gonna make 135.
No,
I mean, she was struggling to 145, and I
Yeah.
mean, she's a big girl. But with Nunes, it just seems like she kind of has UFC's kind of sign off a little bit more on that. I don't know what the politics behind it are on it, but she's just had a better send off than Cyborg. Cyborg thought it was going to be dominant across the board, and then when she got dominated by basically a smaller fighter and got knocked out and pushed around, that kind of put a stop right there. Same thing with Ronda Rousey. They didn't expect that to happen. So marketing is like, well, what do you do now? Well, you got to support the underdog. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so I don't see it as a moneymaker to have Cyborg come back in and fight Nunes because Cyborg was supposed to win last time and she should win the next time. But if she doesn't, she's done.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Chris.
Yeah, this is him. Hey, is this Omar Molina?
This is, yes, Omar Molina. Here, broadcasting on my channel, and I hope we're not too late.
No, you're
right.
good, brother. The floor is yours. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Chris, what's up?
Hey, man, talk to me, man. I know, there's a lot of information we want to get. I know, first of all, how you doing? How's the training been going? And then we'll lead into that, and then we'll get into the rest of it as we go.
Oh, no problem. Well, first, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. I know that this event that we're doing, we'll get into it in a little bit with Shannon Ridge, is USA versus Mexico. And at the beginning, I thought, okay, well, then I'll be the Mexican. Omar. A lot of people don't even know that's my name. But it gets a little complicated, and I'm a little more comfortable with my English. And so I'd rather do this interview obviously with you in English. First of all, again, I want to reintroduce John Stricker. He's helping me out with my boxing. He's got good experience in the States. Nice to meet you, sir. Yeah.
Hey, Josh, I know about you a little bit. I think you got a highly decorated crew back there.
Just a little bit.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. And then Carolina, our manager, actually, she's on her way in. She's actually calling right now. now, so that's going there. But hold on. So, no, Chris, anything you want to know in particular? I'm doing okay. You know, we're just getting ready for the fight. You know.
Yeah, I know, you know, there's a lot. It's a huge, that card is huge, man. It's the who's who, former UFC vets on there. I mean, Chris Lytle's fighting a kid from here, down here, JC Yamas, Leonard Garcia on there, Joe Riggs. I mean, that's a huge card, and then to have it there in Cancun, Jesus, we're trying to find a way to get there.
Yeah, I mean, you're the heavyweights. Hey, this is Van Palacio. How you been, bud? It's been a couple years since I've seen you rock. It's Van Palacio.
Dude, what's up, man?
How are you, man? I ain't talked to you in a couple years, but I was.
I know, dude. I'm good, man. Nice to hear from you. Hey, before we go on, I don't know how much time we have, but how am I able to see this? Oh, I think I got you guys here. Let me see here.
Right past Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook, MMA Fight Pass.
Oh, there you are.
What's up, man?
I should see the volume down on the computer, so we don't have feedback, right?
So hey, on the fight card you got coming up, you also have two big heavyweights with Tony Lopez and Joey Beltran. With everything going on with that, I know you're getting ready and you're trying to get everything finalized on your contract so you can get that sent and done. Where are you at right now in training? Because it's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah. Hey, before you go on, man.
Yeah. What's up?
I wanted to speak to Carolina. She's our manager. Come on in here. Don't be shy. You know what? She actually has worked. We're broadcasting over there. You're in here, Mom. Don't sit down. You guys know how. You guys already know me. There's always got to be a show. So,
Yeah, no problem.
boys right there. Chris Ronquillo, Palacios, and I'm not that good-looking big water on your right.
This is Julian Tovar. His dad is the producer. He's a wrestler, MMA fighter as well.
Awesome, Julian. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Omar.
Okay, thanks. Okay, well, anyway, the situation with the contract, all the formalities, are resolved as of today.
Awesome.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I believe it was a delay because of the holidays, and logistically, it's not as easy as it may sound. I mean, you guys obviously know because you've been in the environment to run a team, from another country. It's hard enough to do it in another city.
Yeah.
Translations and then the laws, commissions, all that. So I understand Dave Feldman's position, but on our situation over here, this is what we're wanting to do is we're organizing a viewing party. Here in Ensenada. As of right now, how many locations do we have? 5, 6. We have confirmed 5 or 6 locations, but with a possibility of up to 15.
Oh, wow.
We just needed the contract. We needed confirmation from Dave and BareNuckle Fighting Championships to be able to do that. So our goal, is to have as many people watching here, the transition, as there are in the stadium over there, which is, it's not just possible, it looks like it's going that way.
Yeah.
It will prove to everyone that maybe I'm not as recognized, but maybe not here, but you guys, that's where we started.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know reaching out to you guys giving me this platform, Shannon's popularity, and then Carolina, she actually, I don't know why she's, quiet, whatever. She stands in front of the Baja 1000, Baja 500 racers and elaborates for hours in the sun. And so you'll get to meet her formally and stuff. And so, again, with you guys, with the good team down here, the goal is to, even though we're not the main event, when we get down there, everybody's going to know who we are.
That's
Sounds
awesome.
a little presumptuous, but if you don't look at it that way, then, you're not going to get anywhere.
No. That's it, man. You got to think positive. And Catalina, I mean, she don't even need to say anything, man. Just look at her.
I got ponytails too, man.
But no, all kidding aside, man. I mean, hey, dude, you had a hell of a boot camp here in the States. So I trust in what you're saying, and I know it's going to be right. So, I mean, with that being said, we want to give you anything we can to support on our side, pass the word, and do anything we can to continue, that locomotive till fight day.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. And to get back to Van, as far as the question, how our preparation is going, I have access to some really, really good, hardworking, humble people down here that go out of their way to help me in honestly, in something that could be kind of questionable,
Right.
There's some critics online that say, hey, yeah, you just get on the posters and you don't do much of anything. Well, I have to work, I got to do some other stuff. It's hard to train down here. I'll say it officially. Richard Torres was my last official trainer for my last fight. Here comes the name dropping. Chris Miner came down to help out. Mark Delacruz. Actually, Mark and some friends are actually going down to Cancun for it, just to watch it.
Oh, right on.
Some other people, like Mark, a shout out to him, Dan Camarillo, back home. Well, anyway, Miguel Reyes with Alliance MMA came and cornered me for my last fight. But, being on the training side, the fighting side, and also promotion side, I know that there's a responsibility to take care of my coaches and whatnot. And it's just not as easy to do down here. That's why for this show, I gathered up a team of assassins to be able to not watch my back, to do their job, so that I can go ahead and focus on getting Shannon Rich, which I totally respect, the most merciless beating that he's ever felt. Ever.
Nice.
To get down serious now, my weight's on point. I have good coaching. I have good support. This isn't a payday. This is to prove a point. I've been away from California for 8 years, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But that doesn't stop me from being who I am and wanting to do what I want to do. Might be a little past my age as far as high performance, but I know that I can put on a show. Aside from the marketing and whatnot, I'll show up in shape. I'll always put on a good show, and not barring lightning or a hurricane or the earth opens up and swallows me. I'm showing up to prove to Dave Feldman and anybody else on that card, all respects to them, that we're the fight of the night, that I'm the show.
That's awesome.
Oh, hell yeah, man. That you got to think positive, and everything's possible, and I mean, how many times even now where you see a big card, say in the UFC, and then all of a sudden the undercard is the one that steals the show, this fight of the night, someone you never heard of. But, you're fighting a vet, a guy with over 100 fights, the who's who in whatever organization, Pride, K1, King of the Cage, Gladiator, all, and he's up in his years too, a lot of experience and stuff like that too. So, I mean, he's got a lot of people that follow him, basically because he's been around. It's like second nature to him, and he keeps active in the jiu-jitsu world too, actually just doing a grappling tournament himself. So I think it's going to be good. Anything's possible, man. Anything is possible. I mean, in this last week, a couple of weeks ago, Cyborg and Nunes realized lightning can always strike twice. So.
Hey, Rocky, I got a question on with bare knuckles. I mean, you get light wrap, and that's about it. You get across the knuckles. I mean, I don't personally know how you would condition your hand for that. I mean, it's a different style of punching, less knuckle lead, more, across the board. It just, how's that changed your overall fight game and the way you look at it? Because you hit a forehead, your hand's done.
Well, I'm glad you brought up that question. I wanted to actually do a little more preparation and a little bit of history on the bare knuckle side of it. But I'll leave that to the promoter. Maybe get another interview with you guys later on. But the idea here is and this is one of the reasons why not only did I accept this fight, but I'm pouring and investing not only everything I have financially and a lot of time. Again, I got these people don't work for free, and they don't. And so it's not just the platform. It's not a payday. It's the experience and the trained with Richard Torres, Olympic trials in 1984, you know, and right there alongside me was Kiki Torres, who just got named the Team USA boxing captain. You know, we used to do push-ups in the dirt. I know how to box every day, every single day. I shadow box, and my respects to my opponent. He ripped my arm off and beat me with it, but it's not a grappling match. The techniques, turning your knuckle. And to get back to that question, there is no light padding. What they're doing is they're allowing you a wrap from the wrist down, probably wrapping the thumb. I got to get a few more details on that, but for everything I've seen, it's the wrap and tight, maybe right around this area. But just the knuckles are open. And as far as the conditioning is concerned, there's some people who say, well, you rub them on here, you condition your shins for Muay Thai, you hit them with the stick and whatever. But I train with N Fairtech, another name dropping, N Fairtech, jumping on.
The Woodman, yeah.
Tick, Ganyao. And those dudes never once told me, get a rolling pin and condition your shins. They're going to just kick the bag. So what we're doing specifically is we're not trying to do any damage here. We are doing a little bit different grip, guard. Because you're right. Somebody drops an uppercut or shoots a jab and you drop your head, you get a broken knuckle.
Yep.
You try to do body shots and somebody knows how to turn their elbow out, or even you hit the hip and you dislocate your wrist.
Yep.
So I know that Shannon has done these events, but I've trained with Jaime Valdez and Chente Guzman, all those murderers that Richard has down there. And those guys, they have every trick up their sleeve and a few that I don't even know that they apply to me. Then down here in Mexico, I mean, some of these kids, they're using socks as wraps. And so I know that Shannon is much more experienced. I know that he's probably in better condition than I am. He's big, he's strong, But I also know that rounds boxing at this level, he doesn't have. All due respect, Shannon, all due respect, you don't. And so I believe that, just that, returning form, using those techniques, being aware and cautious of those, those potential, dangers, I have a better than average chance against that man. And that's one of the reasons why I took the fight, because I know I can beat him. I know I can. Not fighting for honor, for my family, for my legacy. No, I'm better.
That's awesome.
Right on, man. I mean, I'm pumped. I'm excited. Let's go, man. But is there some other people out there that you want to give the opportunity to come on and talk a little bit about this event coming in, if you'd like?
You know what? I'd like to turn over to Carolina. Look at this. Whenever on my feed, you can see her. Do you guys have me on? This is hilarious.
Oh, the producer could see. He could see you. We can't.
Okay. So I'd like to turn over to her and the role she's playing with me. In the sense of, yes, I have the experience. And I'll be honest, this is her first venture into the fight game. But as far as the promotion side, production side, angles, lighting, sponsors, elaborating, when all that, she has much more experience than I have. And so what I did is I took a lot of responsibility that I normally take on myself, and I said, here, have it. And so it hasn't been easy for her. I'd like for her to be honest, actually. But yeah, I'm going to turn it over to her. You ask me whatever you want, because I know you're tired of my voice.
No, that's fine. Hey, Catalina, welcome to the show.
I'm nervous.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm sure you probably have a little tequila on the side out there. Just take a shot and just breathe, and everything will be
This is
okay.
the first time I'm being interviewed.
It's all right, man. We're just,
So I'm nervous.
It's my first time too. Don't worry.
yeah, first time. It's the first time. Yeah, all we're doing is talking, just like we're on the phone. That's it. No big deal. No real formal pressure. We're just chopping it up, man. Friends talking. That's all. And the information that we want is basically Sounds like you're really busy.
I've been busy the last few weeks. Rocky called me one day. We've been friends for a few years, I think. And he called me one day and said, "Hey, I'm going to fight in Cancun. Do you want to go with me? I have a job for you." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course, it's Cancun. I'm going." Yeah, yeah. I didn't know that it was going to be so much work. I normally do off-road races, and I'm excited to do something new with Rocky this time.
Yeah. Well, shoot, that off-road races, I've been there, Baja and the Mint and all that stuff too, through the years, and that's that is a lot of work. I mean, from the people that come all over the world to do that, and all over the country. I mean, and in places you have to be able to set up to stay and all that. I was on a team that I sponsored. We did motor for a guy that was in that a few years back. But yeah, that's deal, man. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of work. And I know, these fights a lot of work too. But I think bringing that aspect of what it takes to put on a huge world-known event like, the Baja 400 or 1,000 or whatever it is now, compared to that, oh man, I think it should be gravy for you.
Yeah. Last year, it's been 50 years since Baja 1000 was born. So it took a lot of years of work and a lot of people from all over the world to do such a big event. And now they're doing a lot of races all over the world, in Chile, in Germany, in Europe, and just everywhere. And as you just mentioned, the Mint 400, I was there last year, and that was a great experience to go to another country and see that they're doing what we started doing here in Baja. I'm proud.
Yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, this is just another avenue. I mean, hey, I feel confident. I don't know you that well, but just coming from that kind of experience to that, because I'm involved in motor racing too, and I know what it goes in, just in the detail of that. And then I've been for the last 17 years on this side of, the fights and all that, boxing a little bit more, but on this MMA and the bare-knuckle deal, that's new to me because I don't really know the whole rules on that. But basically the fight game is the fight game, and it's about selling tickets and putting butts out there and getting the word out. I think you'll do fine. I mean, just from the experience that I know that you have, considering those events, that's huge. I mean, that's huge. So just trust in what you feel, and I think you'll do good. You'll do good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it should be great.
Well, I just with the marketing Rocky and then getting this together and directing what he has to do and making it easier fight camp for him. I don't know if he's explained it to you, but I can tell you from a fighter's side that any hope that anybody puts into your camp, it's such a relief for yourself. And for him to admit that he gave it all up and he's concentrating on the fighting and have brought in people that he trusts to do this, it's such a big thing. And then to have the tout behind the Baja races, and what to do and what to look for and what angles to take. Now bringing that into the fighting aspect, I mean, that opens some avenues for you, and it helps him out greatly. I think it's a mutual, it's a copacetic relationship right there above anything.
It's adrenaline. Adrenaline moves.
It's a rush. It is, and that's something that no one can take from you. You can have it as many times as you want. That's a high. Racing's my high, and that's why I've been doing it for almost 30 some years. But that's something that it's legal, and you could do it as many times as you want to. So, but to have the corporation, of the fight game, which is exciting too, which is my second love, and to mingle and network with people that have an interest to succeed, no matter at what capacity or what entity they're working with. It's common, and you basically feed off each other's energy to get to your common goal. And that's why I feel that it's going to be good, man. God willing, man, hopefully we can be a part of it, man, in the future. We have access to stream live anywhere we go. And that's something that we want to touch on 2019 this year. We made a lot of good connections with a lot of the big promotions that have came here in San Joaquin Valley. Really tight with Combates America, who made a big stay here. And then a lot of other promotions too. So we're looking forward to doing a lot of work, and God willing, traveling on that side of the border, with or without the damn wall.
I don't want to say it's never going to happen, but there's always a way around it. But no, I'd like to elaborate on that a little bit. In fact, touching on Van's point, there is that energy, that you feel. In fact, we were having that conversation the other day. We went out after a long day. It was rough because we have to go visit the sponsors and make sure that everybody knows what we're doing. That the question about the delay of the publicity, and Carolina will talk firsthand. It's work. People say, you're going out and hanging out, drinking and whatever. Like, no, it's work. And then after a long night of that, before we had a conversation.
We're not drinking, Mom.
Yeah, lemonade. She actually brought that up. She goes, I know that there's an energy, and it's hard for me to gain somebody's trust, and it's harder, I think, for somebody else to trust in me. Because it's easy to say, hey, I'm this and I'm that, and look at my pictures. But pictures don't tell a story. So when she says, no, I felt good, I felt that energy, and so, let's put it together. What Van was mentioning, as far as making my training easier, you know how it is, dude. And I think if you guys remember Anthony Aria, a long time ago at WBC, I have had a few conversations with him. He's a really good guy, among other people. And one time he told me, and actually, again, name dropping, Coach Cavito and Alex Perez, they're back up there from the Valley. Each one of them said the same thing. You have fight camp jitters. You're not used to being told what to do. You're doing too much, probably getting hurt, and they were right. So just trust in yourself, trust in your coaches and your camp. Well, I'll be honest, it was rough because I was still doing it by myself up here. So putting that over to her now, I just want to make sure she's comfortable. She's capable, obviously, and to make sure that whatever decision she makes, it's her decision. There is no right or wrong, because that's her job. My job is to go over there and that merciless beating the Shannon, and it doesn't. Again, if we miss something this time, the next time it'll we'll clean it up. So I'm confident in her decision making, and I know that there's stuff that she hasn't even begun to show me yet, and I know she'll just elaborate, she'll modify, and what does the Marine say? That word I can never remember.
Simplify.
Simplify.
Oh, simplify forever.
Sí, se puede.
Just keeping the goal in mind, and remember, there's only plan A. There's no plan B. Plan A is to get down there, get to work. Doesn't matter if we go on bus, boat, hot air balloon, preferably fly first class. Dave, first class. And so we're gonna go ahead and put on a good show. Now on the other part, Chris, I know that you and I met a long time ago when you had the FD News, and you still have that. And I want to continue with that. I did forget, unfortunately, that you're just really big into auto racing. So you have the contact right here. So you'll know not only when to come, how to come. Maybe you guys are media. Maybe media passes. We have Airbnbs. We have access to all this stuff that Mark Dela Cruz has come down here again. Dan Camarillo, just a lot of good friends. Kenny Ento, they've come down here and experienced that. And it's not anything to do with me. It's the community. So let's make sure we keep that up. Where I wanna go out to the races too. In fact, the 18th next weekend, she is doing broadcast interviews for the
Desert Mayhem.
Desert Mayhem in San Felipe, and so we're gonna go over there,
wow.
right? Get some sun, relax a little bit, and kind of clear the mind, and let her do all the work. Again. But yeah, let's go and keep in contact there, Chris. And as far as the fight's concerned, I'm excited that you guys are want to give me this platform. There's a lot of information to give. I'd say direct yourself to BareNuckle Fighting Championships, specifically BKFC. Because there's BareNuckle Boxing, there's a few other leagues and whatever, but specifically want to make sure that it's that one in particular. David Feldman, or Shannon Rich is a great marketer. He knows what he's doing, and so we'll have the links on my page. We're just waiting for that official publicity from the promotion, the contract from Mr. David Feldman. I know he's really busy, and I've been on that side too, so I understand. It just put us a little bit behind. I did make that known, and but hopefully here just run smoothly. So you can have information about the live broadcasts. If somebody wants to come down and join us, obviously, preferred hotels, maybe preferred airline, all that info you'll get directly from their site for the moment. But here in the next few days, hopefully, we'll have as much information, if not more, than them. Not only for Cancun, but also sites in transmission sites in Tijuana, Ensenada, Rosarito, and I think we're doing Mexicali also. And that's something that I'm proud to say that we're, John's over in the corner. He doesn't like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I know. And so I know that with respect to the local promoter in Cancun, with all respect to Dave Feldman and their production, they are doing as much. We're doing as much work as they are, and we're doing it on our dime. We're doing it on our money. The reputation of being able to follow through, and this platform, Chris, allows me to prove that I am who I say. And so, again, all that information will be there. If you can't make it to the show, then there'll be plenty of places. And in fact, I want to see if we can get with you, Chris. Talk to Mark, of course. Some of the guys back home about maybe doing some broadcasts from out there. The BBC is still out there. The places out in Lemoore, Hanford. I want to get with Mike Martinez, good guy, good friend of mine, and see if they can't do the same. Get a viewing parties. You know what I mean? The idea is, again, not so much to consume myself. It's just who I'm working with. In fact, I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but we're documenting this, and we're also. Look, this is what I do there. We're also writing a book.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're writing a book.
I am actually.
Yeah.
It's a PG book, right? I don't want to see no pictures. In it.
I still got it. And so we're doing all that not because of me. It has nothing to do with me. I'll be on TV, I'll be bloody, or I'll be winning, I'll have my hand raised or whatever. But everybody needs to see how I was able to get here, who supported me and helped me and encouraged me all the way through until we are right now, because these people need to be known. They're known for other things. They're successful. They're family members and their fathers and their moms and all that stuff, whatever, in their world. But they had an effect on mine also, and they deserve the credit. They deserve to be known, And so the second part I'd like to announce is this is going to be a good one. I formally dare every member on that fight card to do something similar to what we're going to do. I'm taking 25% of my earnings. That's a private matter, but and I'm creating a foundation in the name of my mother, to help indigenous children here in receive vaccines. My mother only she was a baby and it's affected her health, and so we want to make sure that in this day and age, there's still people who are suffering.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And the second one, I'm named after my wife, rest her soul, and do another foundation for children with childhood diabetes. If it's hard enough for an adult to be able to take care of that, can you imagine kids? And so the idea here is not to presume not better or hey, we're going to give stuff away. I don't have any money to give away. Some money is already spent. But it's something bigger and beyond me. And I know that I'm probably getting paid the least. Dave, fight bonuses, early knockout bonus, so, hint, hint. But it doesn't matter. These guys, they have bills, they have stuff to pay, whatever, and it doesn't have to be to anything, anything that has to do with me. Find a community center, find an orphanage, camp, whatever, but document it. And the other challenge is to Dave Feldman himself. BareNuckle boxing, the other organizations and stuff, and you want to be big, you want to grow, then start right here. I don't want to challenge him to anything other than saying, I have sponsors that will be named later that will match my donation, and so we're going to be able to give more, And so I offer that challenge to them. Find a good cause. Find something that drives you, and give back, help out, because you never know,
That's
What
true.
they say, let's say it might be your own. The conversation is going a little bit, to the side. But now you guys can see, and these guys are hearing it every day, that this fight is so many different levels. It's not just a fight. It's gonna prove a lot. It's gonna do a lot, and I thank everybody for the opportunity that they're giving me. But they have no idea what they're getting. So I think it's good for everybody. It's gonna be very entertaining.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
That's awesome.
I need another drink, man. I mean, really, if everything goes, to form, I mean, there are things that happen, but I mean, just going there and the build up to it. I mean, you're doing your work, man. You're putting in the work. You're paying for yourself right now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to to the fight. Obviously, I'm looking forward to that, but also the fruits that are going to come from it. You're putting a lot of seeds out there, and that's a good thing for. We always talk about paying it forward or doing something nice for somebody, and you're putting those words into action. And those actions will be, especially in the area that you're at, that'll be well received and it'll be well dispersed. There's a lot of things down south of the border that our dollar's worth more, and it could go a little bit farther. And that's awesome that you're taking the time, and people are matching you for that. That's just huge. It's a good thing to hear about, and it's a good thing to watch now.
Yeah, thank you very much. And again, someone could say, "Oh, yeah, you're just trying to get out there and whatever." But no, I wanted to do something like this for a long time. For those reasons that I mentioned, it's dear to my heart. It's close to me. My mother, my wife, and even me. I'll go ahead and confess something a little personal. My dad learned how to read before I did. I was 17 years old when we graduated from BareNuckle High School, and I had undetected dyslexia. And my wrestling coach, Hector Palacios, kind of figured it out. Not to knock any of the teachers at the high school. I had a bunch of really good high school, but I did it well. I just remembered everything. No homework, never should any homework. All my teachers, they could attest to that. But I did well in the tests. And could you imagine, trying to hide that for so long? I got some help, and it just took, and I started trying to read as much as I could afterwards. So even though you're in a better place, my parents, we left Mexico to the States to try to give us something better. But that doesn't mean that that it's going to be easy. And so if it's one person that we could help out, somebody who else is motivated, if it wasn't for wrestling and sports, I don't want to say that I'd be a failure or nothing would have came up. but it's what allowed me to contact these people who, when I had to write out programs, and I flip the words, and like, do you have this? I had no idea. I thought it was like a skin disease or something. And,
It's like that. Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, you still see a lot of it. There's a lot of people that I know in the sports world, professional football players with that. I even have a grandson with that, and he's going, even though he's young, I mean, you can tell him anything on football, and he could read a play or a book or whatever, a scheme, but you have him to go in there to read just a basic book. But he's figuring it out, and he realizes, and it just takes time. You got to work at a pace, not at a panic.
Hey, Rocky, don't ever be embarrassed by it, because I have it too. And I mean, for me, it's more numbers than words, but that alone, like people really don't understand seeing stuff backwards, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're like, you did this wrong because this is flipped, this is right. You're like, no, I did it right. It's right in your head. So I mean, and getting through the school process and everything, it was a hard argument, because I mean, I was right. If you flipped it, everything was the same, but it just was written down improperly, across the board, and it still chases me to this day. So I mean, it's I don't find it a hindrance. I figured out that you got to be smarter to have dyslexia and correct what you did wrong, because other people do it once. You have to do it twice, so you're twice as smart.
I wonder why you drive on the right side of the
I didn't know
seat.
that, man. I appreciate, you sharing with that. Someone might say, oh, Rocky's this and the victim or whatever, but no, it's not. It wasn't because of me that I learned it. I had people who reached out and said,
Right.
There's something wrong with it, man. It's just, like you said, it's a little bit wrong. I'm still strong as hell, though.
Yep.
I still got big legs and I look good in a bikini. Maybe that other one. And if someone is embarrassed or somebody else doesn't catch it or discover it, who knows what could happen. And that's something else that we need to work on. But in fact, I don't know, how much time do we have? Am I gonna go in over time here?
Yeah, we're winding down. Our producer's throwing out some numbers. But what I want you to do is go ahead and shout out the support. If we need to bring you back again at another time, we can do that too. So, I mean, we can do any of that. But and it might even, as it gets a little bit closer, we might do that as well. But I want you to take the time and take care of the people that take care of you, man. Shout out those people.
Thank you very much. First of all, you guys, consider MMA Fight Pass, Chris, Van. God, that boy right there so good looking, I can't even.
It's Julian. Julian.
That's the first. I knew that was your name, but I want you to talk, and you have a good voice.
There you go.
Thank you guys. Specifically, Tom Owens also been staying up with me late, trying to get me, motivated and encouraged and stuff. My team, Carolina, I don't even know what she's capable of, but she's not here by accident. Dom, who I met a few years back, it's not just letting us use his house, introducing to his family, his daughter trains with us, going out of the way to really help us out a lot. And then back home, I can't mention Markel Cruz enough. His partner Rodney Franz, Coach Torres, who came down here. He also did a clinic for us. There are honestly too many names to mention. And I will get to that. It'll be in the book. And my family.
And that's it, buddy? Is that all?
My family, I want to thank them. I haven't seen them in a long time. And here locally, there's a lot of people, obviously. Specifically, I wanted to, sorry about this, guys. I want to thank Lou at Johnny's Bar and Grill. Everybody that comes down here, and he knows him. They all meet him, all the members of the Rock Solid Combat Club, all the kids. Chava Felix, who actually was the first person who said, "Hey, come and work out at my gym. I know who you are." He's a boxing trainer down here. My coworkers back when I was working as an operations manager at fights, and we're going to transmit. Her English is better than mine. Transmission. It's called a Grupo Shock. They have four points of locations at Los Caguas in particular, with George, Jorge, and Jose. It'll be on our site. El Pato, Chinese Walker, Deja Vu, all transmission sites, and then La Cabana. We are introducing our swag. This one's for you, Mom. This is our going to be our official clothing sponsor. Nice, and there's the what do you call it? The usual hecho or made in Mexico. This one is made in Baja. Good quality stuff, nice, comfortable, slimming, and so look for more stuff.
All right, on.
So for those guys, the links will be on our page. And as you can tell, I like talking a lot, and so I'll leave these guys to blow and goodbye, and then we'd also like to thank Shannon Space because he's going to hit it. Right? Thanks for the opportunity, bro. Thanks.
All right, man. Good night. God bless you guys. And we'll call it a wrap.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, okay?
All
Love
right.
you guys. Bye.
Take care.
See you guys.
Well, that's it from the HammerFist podcast, brought to you by MMA Fight Pass. Support always by the Spike and Rail here in Selma, California, along with Glepler Digital Media, Alonzo, About Millions, Eddie at Visalia MMA Gear. This show is a wrap. We'll see you soon next week. We're going to stream up another surprise, and so tell a friend.
Cool. It's good to hear from him, man. Heard from him forever.
Rocky.
Rebecca knows how to work it. I mean, in a good way. Like